As we mentioned earlier, there she is, Eleanor Hasken-Wagner. She's the Museum and Historic Sites Supervisor, here to talk to us about the Capital City Museum and their fresh new look. How are you this morning?
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So let's talk about it. You are, would you say, are you the director of Capital City Museum as well?
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's a new position, my job.
Right.
So I am taking over for the interim director, Kelly Everman, who is just fantastic and wonderful.
We love Kelly.
And amazing. Yeah, how can you not?
Yeah.
But with my job creation, they've also put me in charge of the historic sites that are managed by Parks and Recreation too. So they've kind of expanded the job title to supervisor, because I am supervising over all of the historic sites, which sounds very daunting, but is really quite fun. But before we go too far, can we jump back to the cereal question?
Yeah,
Really
absolutely.
briefly?
Yeah, for sure.
I've been thinking, contemplating, and I have several thoughts.
Yes.
If we're going to go into the candy cereal market, I feel like the Red Vine candy cereal is the way to go. However, thinking about savory cereals, I was thinking what pairs with milk, and it's something spicy. So what about like a Taki cereal with milk?
Ooh. Interesting.
Daring, saying, just putting that out there. Or I study legends and supernatural creatures, so like a Mothman themed cereal would be quite lovely. I would love to see that happen.
All for it. Cryptid cereal. Let's
exactly,
go.
cryptid cereal.
I'm here for it.
Sorry, I just really had all those thoughts, just really wanting to come out.
We
So
didn't want to lose those.
Do you have thoughts on your husband's hot brown cereal? Or?
No.
No comment.
No comment.
No, but our anniversary is also coming up too, October 31st.
Oh.
So we had a Halloween wedding.
Wow.
And
Congratulations.
thank you. Yeah, pretty
cool.
exciting stuff. Our first anniversary. So
great.
we will not be having hot brown cereal.
Not going to make that work.
No.
Okay, well, back to the Capital City Museum.
Yes.
You all recently had to say, there's some recent retirees, right? You all had to say goodbye to Russ Hatter. Is that right?
We did have to say goodbye to Russ Hatter, which is such a loss for the museum because he is an icon in the city. I hear Voice of the Capitol all the time. He used to, I guess, have a morning radio show that people would wake up to, and he had one line. It's like, good morning. No, what is it? It's 6:30 Gertie. Sorry to talk off camera. And so we're very sad to see him retire, fully retire. He actually partially retired like a decade ago and is now fully retiring. However, we're so excited that he's getting to pursue things that he's been wanting to pursue and hasn't had the opportunity to, like going up to Maine with his wife on a road trip for several weeks, which is exciting and wonderful. But we've also welcomed a new city historian. So we've had a lot of changes undergo at the museum. So with Russ's retirement, we've brought in a new city historian named Beth Shields, and she is fantastic. She's worked for the Kentucky Historical Society, for the Kentucky Department of Library and Archives, and she just knows what she's doing. She knows her stuff, and she is so excited to continue to carry Russ's legacy on and help the museum and help people who are interested in their family records or the records of their homes, any of that stuff. She is a pro researcher. So she's the one to contact for that, not me, because I'm new here. I'm still figuring stuff out.
So it's awesome. Lots of new people involved, but also let's talk about the place, right? There've been a lot of changes. It was closed down for a while. Did a remodel. What can you share about the new look for the museum?
Yeah, it is amazing and fantastic. And I really get to reap the benefits of the hard work of the people who have done all the remodel, because everyone I've talked to who has been by the museum in its new state have had such complimentary things to say about the new exhibits that we have, the new layout design, the new overall just feel, the fresh face of the interior of the museum. If you close your eyes right now and you picture display case after display case after display case, you are not picturing the current museum. It has a whole new life. It has a whole new thrust of energy that it has really benefited from the hard work of people like Kelly Everman, as well as Becky Tippett and Linda McAuliffe and Penny Peevler, who have put so much time and energy into completely redoing every aspect of the museum. I mean, it truly is fantastic and amazing. So we were closed all of last year doing this huge remodel. And now that we reopened at the end of July, I mean, we are just so excited to share the history of Frankfort with people who are from Frankfort, people who are visiting out of town, people who are stopping through on their way to other places. And we are just over the moon about the offerings that we have now.
Now, I'm curious, was the remodel, that was probably in the works for a little while, right? And then maybe, 2020, a lot of things were closed. So maybe that was, that gave you all the opportunity to finally kind of make that happen, yeah?
Yes, definitely. We had a really generous bequeathal to the museum that allowed the conversations for remodel to begin in earnest. But with 2020 and locking things down, it really thrust the opportunity for a massive remodel into the laps of people who are working at the museum, which is, it really benefited us. And I feel so selfish and terrible saying that, but we took the opportunity and we really ran with it. And I cannot express to you how different and wonderful the interior of the museum is. And the really exciting thing is we also have new exhibits that we're currently in the process of working on that we're hoping to reveal in 2020. One of which is about the African American communities in the city of Frankfort during the mid-20th century. And that exhibit is in progress right now. We have a wonderful committee of people here in town who are working on text and photos and exhibit pieces. So if you have something you would like to donate to this exhibit, we would absolutely love to take a look at it. We're actively starting the process of seeking donations for this exhibit specifically. So just putting a little plug in there while I'm here. But we also have several other exhibits that are in the works. We have actually closed down our river room temporarily to move it and also rebrand it as the Waterways Room to honor the legacy of Frankfort's relationship with both Elkhorn Creek as well as the Kentucky River and other creeks and ponds and lakes that are in the Frankfort and Franklin County area too.
Well, I don't think we've mentioned the hours of the museum. Yeah, when can people come and check it out?
Yeah, so we are open Monday through Saturday from 10 to 4, and we have free admission. Wow. Huge deal.
The favorite kind.
Yeah, like come in and just like move in for the day. Like you know, we're not kicking you out. You can just hang. And we are normally in the office in the morning up until noon with Beth, who will do, again, any research that you have about Frankfort, Franklin County, or if you want to do your own research, we're happy to set you up in our boardroom on a very long table with all of the files and books that we can give you access to, which is quite a substantial collection, thanks to Russ Hatter's very, very, very generous labor and work and collection.
Awesome. Well, you teased us with this new thing that you guys are working on. Can you tell us about the Halloween podcast?
I would love to share the Halloween podcast with you all. So Halloween's coming up, and we're all so excited about it. And Russ previously has done a Murder and Mayhem tour every October. But with his retirement and his very exciting trip to Maine, we could not ask him to put it on this year. And with the crazy amount of work at the museum, as well as COVID going on, we didn't feel quite comfortable mounting a new version of this tour ourselves. So we were thinking, what can we do to honor Russ's legacy, as well as to continue the stories and narratives that are really important to Frankfort and be a little bit creepy with it. So we decided to do a podcast that we're calling Kentucky Deceased Hauntings of Frankfort. Kentucky Distilled, Kentucky Deceased.
I see.
Yeah,
you didn't get that by me. I was riding along.
Okay, good. And it's going to premiere on October 15th. And then the week following, we'll have a new episode on Wednesday and Friday. Then the week following that, another new episode on Wednesday and another new episode on Friday, with 2 very special episodes coming out the weekend of Halloween. The last of which, just to put this plug out there, isn't the first recording of Russ Hatter giving the Murder and Mayhem tour. We found it in our archives on VHS, and we have converted it to an audio file that we're going to put out into the universe. And it is Russ giving the earliest version of this tour. So we're so excited that we get to share it and have that legacy really continue on past Russ's time at the museum. So we hope
sounds
you'll check
awesome.
the
that's
podcast out.
Yeah, me and Harvey are big
both
big
big
podcast
podcast
guys.
fans.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Where can folks find that podcast? Is it on wherever you get your podcasts?
Wherever you get your podcast, right?
Yes, it will be wherever you get your podcasts. We are
Okay.
putting up the preview episode today to get our feed live, so you'll be able to find it later this afternoon. But if you want to just really keep your finger on the pulse, we do have an event created on our Facebook page, and the Facebook is at Cap City Museum. If we're going to go with the, overall branding of our social media in general, all of it is at Cap City Museum, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. We're also uploading the podcast to YouTube, where we have our preview episode already live. So we're going to be uploading the rest of the audio later this afternoon. So it should be available either today or tomorrow on feeds at Apple, Spotify, Google, all of that good stuff. So we're so excited, and we really hope you'll give it a listen and a check out.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So excited about the podcast and
Thanks.
honestly about everything fresh and new there at the Capital City Museum, and encourage our viewers to go check it out and to listen to that podcast.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. Thanks, Ellie, for being here.
Thanks a lot.
Anytime.